You will be shocked when you learn about the most dangerous places on our planet, where terrifying animals and insects reside. Today, I will tell you about islands inhabited by venomous snakes and spiders, about jungles teeming with dangers, and about other places where humans are better off not going. You will learn about mysterious territories where nature dictates its own rules and what deadly dangers await there. And at the end of the video, I will tell you about a place where every animal is capable of killing a person in just a few minutes. Buckle up, it's going to be interesting. Let's start with perhaps the most famous and terrifying place, Queimada Grande, which is also known as the Island of Snakes. Located 35 kilometers off the coast of Brazil, this small piece of land, covering about 43 hectares, is considered one of the most dangerous places on Earth. Why? It's because one of the most venomous snakes in the world resides here, the island Bothrops, or golden lancehead. According to scientists, there are between 1 to 5 snakes per square meter on the island. Just imagine that. Take a step and immediately several venomous creatures are at your feet. The venom of this snake is so toxic that it can cause tissue necrosis and heart failure. Without the rapid administration of an antidote, death occurs within an hour. Because of this, the Brazilian authorities have prohibited tourists and even local residents from visiting Queimada Grande. The only ones allowed to set foot on this land are scientists and military personnel with special permission. Legends say that snakes appeared on the island after pirates hid their treasures there, wanting to protect them from curious eyes. But in reality, the snakes ended up there due to the island's isolation from the mainland as a result of rising sea levels thousands of years ago. Without natural enemies and with an abundance of birds for sustenance, the snake population has grown to incredible sizes. Interestingly, the golden lancehead is not found anywhere else in the world. It is an endemic species. Evolved in unique conditions, scientists study them to find new medicines and antidotes, but the risk is too great. We move to Southeast Asia, to the island of Ramri in Myanmar. This island is known not only for its picturesque landscapes but also for the infamous incident during World War II. In 1945, the largest attack by saltwater crocodiles on humans in history occurred here. Japanese soldiers, retreating from British forces, found themselves driven into the mangrove swamps of the island. At night, they were attacked by saltwater crocodiles, the largest reptiles in the world, reaching lengths of 7 meters and weighing over a ton. These predators can reach speeds of up to 20 kilometers per hour and possess incredibly powerful jaws. Out of 1,000 soldiers, only a few dozen survived. This incident is recorded in the Guinness World Records as the most massive attack of animals on humans. Today, saltwater crocodiles still inhabit Ramri Island. Locals try to avoid marshy areas, and tourists are warned about the dangers. So if you happen to be in Myanmar, it's best to stay away from this place. Australia is famous not only for kangaroos and koalas, but also for an incredible number of dangerous animals. Here live some of the most venomous snakes, spiders, jellyfish, and even octopuses. One such place is the Simpson Desert, where the taipan, the most venomous snake in the world, lives. The venom of the taipan is so toxic that a single dose is enough to kill 100 people or 250,000 mice. Without the rapid administration of an antidote, death occurs within 45 minutes. Fortunately, cases of attacks on humans are rare, but the risk is still high. In addition, the Sydney funnel web spider inhabits Australia. Its venom can lead to death within 15 minutes. This spider often settles in homes and gardens, so local residents must always be on guard. In the coastal waters, there are venomous jellyfish, sea wasps, and other dangerous creatures, contact with which can also be fatal. The next place I would like to tell you about is the Danakil Desert in Ethiopia. It is one of the hottest and most inhospitable places on the planet. The temperature here can reach 55 degrees Celsius, and the landscapes resemble those of Mars. But it is not only the extreme heat that makes this place dangerous. The Danakil region has active volcanoes, geysers that emit toxic gases, and acidic lakes. The surface of the ground is covered with crystals of sulfur and salts. The air is saturated with hydrogen sulfide and other toxic gases. The local people, the Afar, are known for their hostility towards outsiders and often warn that anyone who enters our land without permission may not return. Despite this, some brave tourists still visit the desert to see the unusual landscapes. However, it is highly discouraged to do this without a guide and special safety measures. We return to Australia, to Fraser Island, the largest sand island in the world. It is home to a large population of wild dingoes, Australian wild dogs. Although they may seem harmless at first glance, dingoes often attack people, especially children. In 1998, a 2-year-old boy went missing on the island, and it is believed that he was taken by a dingo. Since then, strict rules have been introduced. Tourists are prohibited from feeding animals, and children must be kept under constant supervision. In addition, the island is home to poisonous spiders, snakes, and jellyfish, while the coastal waters contain sharks and crocodiles. So, despite the beauty of the local beaches, it is far from a paradise for relaxation. Another very dangerous place that I definitely would never want to visit is the Amazon rainforest, the lungs of our planet, and at the same time one of the most dangerous places for humans. An incredible variety of animals and insects inhabit this area, many of which pose a serious threat. Poisonous poison dart frogs, whose bite can kill an adult in just a few minutes. Giant anacondas, reaching lengths of 10 meters, and capable of suffocating their prey with powerful muscles. Electric eels capable of generating discharges of up to 600 volts, which can be lethal. And, of course, piranhas, predatory fish, that can strip a victim to the bones in just a few minutes. In the rainforest, there is also a jaguar, a powerful predator that is not afraid of humans and can attack without warning. In the forests of the Amazon rainforest, malaria mosquitoes and other insects are common, carrying dangerous diseases such as leishmaniasis and yellow fever. Without special training and the accompaniment of a guide, venturing into the depths of the Amazon rainforest is extremely dangerous. In general, I definitely do not plan to go there. Would you agree to such a trip? Now, I would like to tell you about a very amazing place. The Gamantan Caves on Borneo are known for their giant colonies of bats and swiftlets. But it is not only this that makes them dangerous. The cave floor is covered with a thick layer of guano, which serves as a nutrient-rich environment for many insects. Among them are huge cockroaches up to 10 centimeters long, centipedes, and scorpions. And the most unpleasant are the ticks and parasites that can carry dangerous diseases. In addition, the air in the caves is saturated with ammonia and hydrogen sulfide, which can cause poisoning and damage the respiratory tract. However, the caves attract tourists who wish to see unique ecosystems and observe the collection of bird nests, which are considered a delicacy in Asian cuisine. But without special protective suits and masks, visiting the Gamantan Caves is extremely risky. Personally, I love caves. Even such conditions do not scare me at all. What else is in my list? Oh yes, Surtsey Island, which emerged as a result of a volcanic eruption in 1963. He became the subject of research for scientists studying the process of colonization of new lands by plants and animals. Access to the island is strictly limited to preserve its ecosystem in its pristine state. However, the main danger is the activity of the volcano. Eruptions and gas emissions can begin at any moment. Additionally, the coastline is unstable and may collapse beneath your feet. Interesting fact, the first bush of tomatoes was discovered on the island, with seeds that presumably arrived there in the feces of birds. This sparked heated discussions among scientists about human impact on the ecosystem, although it seems unlikely to me that tomatoes will grow in lava. And another cave, Jacob's Well, this time in Texas. It is one of the most dangerous places for diving. At first glance, it is a picturesque spring with crystal clear water, alluring with its beauty. But beneath the surface lies a complex system of underwater caves. It seems that swimming there is quite safe and very interesting. I agree with the latter. But what about the former? Many divers have lost their lives here, getting lost in the labyrinths, or encountering collapses. The cold water and strong currents make diving even more dangerous. Local authorities have repeatedly warned about the dangers, but this does not stop thrill seekers. The narrow passages and invisible traps in the form of air pockets pose particular risks. Without special equipment and experience, diving in Jacob's Well can become the last dive. And I wouldn't envy the claustrophobics who dare to visit this place. Just imagine. Narrow, restrictive spaces and panic fear. I think this is a true hell for such people. But a place does not necessarily have to be inhabited by animals and insects, killers, or be poisoned by a huge amount of gases. North Sentinel Island in the Bay of Bengal is inhabited by the Sentinelese tribe, who refuse contact with the outside world. Any attempt to approach the island ends with an aggressive reaction from the indigenous people. In 2018, an American missionary was killed when he tried to land on the shore. The Indian government has banned visits to the island to protect both the local residents from diseases and tourists from attacks. Interestingly, the Sentinelese live in the Stone Age, unaware of metals and modern technologies. They have maintained their way of life for thousands of years, and outside intervention can be detrimental to their culture and health. Although, it seems to me, these could be just ordinary IT specialists who decided to escape from their stuffy offices and start living with a clean slate. Who knows? Another dangerous place in Ethiopia is the Danakil Depression. It is home to sulfur springs, volcanoes, and lava lakes. Temperatures reach 60 degrees Celsius, and the air is saturated with toxic gases. It's a real sauna, though, with the smell of poison. By the way, the area resembles the surface of another planet, and scientists compare it to conditions on Mars. Without special equipment and protection, it is impossible to survive here. But, despite the danger, the depression attracts researchers and extreme tourists. Personally, I would never agree to visit this depression. What about you? Write in the comments. Another interesting fact, salt is harvested here using traditional methods, just like thousands of years ago. Local residents, despite the harsh conditions, consider this land their home and a source of income. However, it is unknown how safe this salt is. Perhaps I will continue to buy it at the regular grocery store. Have you heard of the Manchac Swamp in Louisiana, known as the Swamp of Ghosts? Legends speak of curses and spirits, but the real dangers are alligators, venomous snakes, and the marshy terrain where it's easy to get lost or drown. In 1919, many people died here after a hurricane. Since then, the locals have tried to avoid this place, especially at night. However, tourists looking for thrills often underestimate the danger. Honestly, I don't understand how one can underestimate a huge and vicious crocodile. Or people think that it will, like a little dog, easily bite and let go. Additionally, wetlands are home to a vast number of mosquito species that carry diseases such as the West Nile virus and Zika. Without proper protection, the risk of infection is high. As you may know, medications for this disease are quite difficult to obtain in marshy conditions. Quicksand, scorpions, killers, sandstorms. This is the Namib Desert. It is considered one of the oldest and driest places in the world. Precipitation is virtually absent here, and temperatures can range from below freezing at night to 40 degrees Celsius during the day. But the main danger is the wandering sands and dunes that can swallow a person or a vehicle. Without sufficient supplies of water and food, surviving here is practically impossible. In addition, dangerous animals inhabit the desert, such as sand snakes and scorpions, whose venom can be deadly. Despite this, the desert attracts tourists with its unique beauty and safari tours. By the way, in one of my previous videos, I showed what happens to careless tourists during a safari. Let's dive into history. In 1986, Lake Nyos in Cameroon became the site of one of the most mysterious disasters. As a result of volcanic activity, a massive amount of carbon dioxide was released from the lake, which descended into the valley and suffocated more than 1,700 people and 3,000 head of livestock. Just imagine, you are sitting at home and simply dying. It's just incredible and terrible at the same time. Today, scientists are monitoring the condition of the lake and conducting degassing activities. However, the risk of a tragedy recurring remains. Local residents continue to live near the lake, despite the danger. Personally, if I were in their place, I would get as far away as possible. Although, one could simply install a very smart air filtration system that would automatically close off the air supply. But still, why try to prevent something that can be easily avoided? In general, there are more questions than answers. How would you act in such a situation? Well, it's time for us to wrap up. But before that, what do you think is the place where the most mountaineers die? No, not on Everest, but on Purna, one of the most dangerous mountain ranges in the world. Despite its relatively low height compared to Everest, the mortality rate among climbers here is the highest, at about 32%. The reason for this is the unpredictable weather conditions, frequent avalanches, and difficult routes. Many experienced climbers have died while trying to conquer the peaks of Annapurna. Climbing here is extremely risky without thorough preparation and the accompaniment of professional guides. Today, I told you about the most dangerous places on our planet, where nature has shown its formidable power, and animals and insects pose a deadly threat. What do you think? Is it worth risking your life for thrills and adventures? Personally, I am amazed at how selflessly the professionals who conduct tours in such places work. And you know where else we need pros? In our team. Friends, you have the opportunity to join our team. If you have video editing skills, you can also provide voiceovers for the videos in Russian, English, and other languages, or write interesting scripts. We would be happy to work with you. Message us on the Telegram bot. The link is in the description. And thank you for your attention.